My fish fam, it's Nikachu, Merfolk Master, and today we're going to continue our journey of playtesting with Harbinger of the Seas in the main deck, accompanied with Lord of Atlantis. And I have to say, okay, so this is now recorded after the Pro Tour has finished, and my god, the metagame has turned way against our favor now. We've got, like, is it prowess? I don't even know why this is in the top, and we also have, like, affinity and Boros energy. So combined, what is this, 12? There's, like, 20, like 23, 24, maybe 25% of the metagame is like super aggro. Not looking good for us, fish fam. So I'm gonna play test this deck. Hopefully the aggro decks aren't so crazy. I don't even know why they would, because the blink decks should perform incredibly well versus the aggro deck, which is good. Gora's Vengeance, Blink, Gora's Vengeance, any of those blink decks, they're super popular. They're doing our work, and I think we have a great matchup versus them, so I think Merfolk should have a great positioning in Modern. But you know what? Some people are just stubborn. Like us! I'm playing Merfolk no matter what. People will play aggro no matter what. So let's throw this into a Modern League. Okay, it's round one. We won the die roll. Our hand is actually pretty good for a technically one lander, but we have more. We have two glass pool mimics to lean on if we really need to, and we have Vile. And between the flood pit stranders and a bunch of glass pool mimics, we might just tempo the crap out of our opponents. So we're gonna keep this. And as we get into this game, we're gonna thank. We want to thank our sponsor, FusionGamingOnline.com, the place I get all my Magic the Gathering cards in paper. If you need some paper Magic the Gathering cards, don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu to get 5% off all your purchases there. Oh, and I won the die roll. I forgot about that. I would like to do the sponsor segment as my opponent is taking their turn. Got to get used to that. All right, we have our turn one Ether Vial. So we're not going to have anything to do on turn two. Oh, Urza Saga on turn one. Is it Affinity? Is it Amulet? If it's Amulet, I'm probably going to be scared. If it's Affinity, I'm probably also going to be scared. It is Affinity. Or maybe it's Lantern Control. Yeah, Affinity is popping off big time. Man, what a time to have Chalice of the Void on 0. I mean, if this is going to be so critical, it's possible we are going to have to go down the route of playing both Engineered Explosives and Chalice of the Void in the same deck, which I'm not against, because I think both those cards can work versus Affinity and the Prowess decks. And remember, you could have a Chalice on 1, cast your cast Engineered Explosives on 0, or you can sometimes have your Chalice of the Void on 0 and cast your like if you we're gonna play Merfolk here. I guess maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have used one of the glass pool mimics, but it's okay. You know, I'm gonna play our Master of the Pearl Trident. Okay, so there's a neat trick with Engineered Explosives. You could tap this for a colorless mana, and then play the Engineered Explosives on 0 if you really needed to, for some reason. Like you played a Chalice of the Void maybe on 0 too late, and there's like too many 0 drops, and you just want to blow everything up. Anyway, the colorless mana from Mutavault and Cavernous Souls in the Merfolk deck lets you do some funky stuff with Engineered Explosives, because the counters that you get on Engineered Explosives are only going to look at the color sources that you have, the color sources. So it looks like their plan is Urza Saga and maybe our Flood Pits Drowners. I mean, it's going to be really terrible value, just absolute brutal value. But we could use Flood Pits Drowners to deal with all of them. Singing to Stupor is interesting because that can answer one construct too. Yeah, I can answer one construct. Maybe that's what we're going to do. Maybe I'm going to hold on to this, though. I'm going to play some Flood Pits, and then we'll glass pool more Flood Pits in play. I'm just going to pass the turn. We're going to start by passing the turn. And I have a feeling, and it's a strong feeling, they're going to go Urza Saga aggro against us, which is fine. It's totally fine. Look at that beefy 6/6er. So they're going to go probably make another token, go get Swiftfoot Boots. So they can sack permanents to gain life. Go for it. Gain as much life as you want. I'm a bit concerned what's in their hand. Hopefully it's counter spells, because they're not emptying their hand. It's got to be something with, you know, mana. Something mana intensive of some sort. Oh, why? Why you have to do that to me, opponent? Why you have to do that to me? All right, so Ether Vial offline. Temporarily. I mean, I could sink this now at an opportune time. Yeah, they're gonna get rid of my ether vial. Okay. That does change some things. So anyway, this can resolve. Sack the old one. Beginning of combat. You are not going to combat. There is blue mana up, so definitely the Cap Cannoneer could rear its ugly head at any moment. Wouldn't be surprised if it does. Okay, so nothing happened. Maybe their hand is loaded with counterspells. It's just counterspells for days. I'm going to check this thing up to nothing. Just leave it on 2. Can I draw land? I do draw land. It's not blue land, though, which is a smidge unfortunate. Just a smidge unfortunate. Oh, they do have mana for the Ether Spell Bomb. They're keeping all the artifacts in play, I guess, because of the constructs. A lot of weird options here. I could play Glasspool Mimic, try to copy. Well, I can't copy Flood Pit Drowner, right? Because now they have Ether Spellbomb out. I can, however, sacrifice the Flood Pit Drowner to get rid of half of these constructs. There's no island in play. Do you know what? I can play Glasspool Mimic. If they bounce Flood Pits, I can copy Master the Pearl Trident. And I think I can just live with that, especially since Flood Pits just came back to our hand. We can redeploy it later. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, let's cast this thing. Oh, you know what I didn't think about? I should actually name Rogue with the second Cavern of Souls, because we know our opponent has a bunch of counter magic in hand. Well, we don't know, but like I very strongly suspect it. And I think they're now like double checking my lands to make sure that they were both put on Merfolk. They were both put on Merfolk, and I don't need them both on Merfolk. Just need probably technically one of them on Merfolk. And they should counter this. Like, what else are they going to use the damn thing on? Mind you, like I actually don't think we're playing from a position of strength anyway in this game. Not that our Ether Vial is offline. This is just a classic situation where if we're only going to be playing one card a turn, we will always lose to the deck that's playing 2 things a turn. Or in this case, in the Affinity matchup, they're playing like 10 things a turn. Oh, maybe they're maybe they're just thinking about the Ether Spellbomb the entire time. I am going to copy my Flood Pits Drowner. We'll tap this thing down. It's not going to untap next turn. And we're going to swing on in for 5 damage. What would you like to do? Would you like to do anything at all? You do want to do something. You want to bounce something. All right, you bounced. Bouncy, bouncy. Next turn. I mean, next turn conceivably. What? What? I mean, okay, whatever. Yeah, it's a very defensive Affinity deck, apparently. I'm not going to blame them. I mean, they're still in a position of strength. Well, that strength is getting smaller. Oh my god. These things used to be 8/8s. Now they're 5/5s. They're really scared of these Flood Pits Drowners. I don't know. Maybe my attack was bad. Like, maybe. Maybe my attack was bad. I didn't really think of it as like a bad attack. All right, we got the Pinnacle Emissary, the pinnacle of being annoying. Eon 0. By all means, I'd love for you to pop that card. Now remember, these can't block. I actually didn't know that for, I don't know, a good solid month. A good solid month. Okay, now we're going to take this thing up to 3. In the event that I somehow bounce this back to hand. Oh, we have another Lord. That's nice. So... Okay, let's attack. Yeah, let's attack. If they want to block, I'll flash in the Hex Catcher. They don't want to block, so maybe I won't flash in the Hex Catcher. What do I do from here? I have to deal with these constructs. I don't know I'm supposed to do it, though. Especially since... like, I still very strongly think they have counter magic in hand. So this whole sink into stupor bounce one is just going to backfire so badly. Okay, this is going to be a game of getting in damage. So I will flash this thing in. Flash this thing in play. Getting our 3 damage. I'm going to shock our sink into stupor. Sorry, bolt. We don't shock around here. Not with the Merfolk deck. Ha! Shock. I wish. And we're just going to do it for the purposes of tapping down a construct token. Another Urza Saga. You know, they changed the rule around this thing, and now all hell has broken loose. I'm looking at the top decks. We've got at least 2 Urza Saga decks. 2 of them. That's 2 too many. At the top of the metagame. Okay, let's tap down these constructs. If I can enable Island Walk... I think we can win. But if I can't, I don't think we can win. Harbinger of the Seas, please? Please, pretty please. With sugar on top. And by the way, this Affinity player, can you just stop doing things? Can you just stop it? Stop playing cards. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. How much mana do you have? You have 1 mana up at the moment. Well, I can't sack my board. I think we have to let it resolve. That's brutal. They basically have almost like a Whip Flare in their main deck. Okay, what do I want here? I want... Can I win with a Lord? 6, 4... No, I can only deal 10 damage. Use the ability... no. Well, I got what I asked for. It's just borderline useless. Yeah, because there's no island in play. If there was an island, I guess this would win. This would be 5, 10, 13. It would be. It would be beautiful. Okay, we're just going to concede. I've seen enough. My whole board is going to get blown. No matter what I do, the whole board's going to get blown up, and we ain't coming back from that. Okay, sideboarding. We want Dismember, I think. Can't remember. Okay, what we've got. We have sideboard plans, don't we? Don't we have sideboard plans? I have sideboard plans. I have a whole sideboard guide for this, so I don't have to think so hard. Now, okay, however, the decks have changed. So in my sideboard guide, I don't have Consigned to Memory, but Consigned to Memory is actually a little bit more valuable in a world where Engineered Explosives is like a card in their deck. Although, like, most of the time, they're just trying to play it for 0, like you saw in that game. But it's a little bit more important. It's like a little bit better than it used to be. It's a little bit better. Okay, what do I have by default in my guide? I have the Mystical Disputes to deal with the Kappa Cannoneers and also the Pinnacle card. Force Negation for... Well, actually, Force Negation deals with the Engineered Explosives. That's enough. That's probably good enough in the grand scheme of things. And we are also bringing our own Engineered Explosives to deal with all the 0-drops in the deck. Billions of 0-drops. Maybe we'll even put it on 1 to blow up Pithing Needle on our Ether Vial. And we'll blow our own Ether Vial up at the same time. And I usually get rid of... Stern Scolding doesn't hit almost anything. Get rid of Mistcaller. It's completely useless. Silver Gill Adept is like fine-ish but not important. What else am I getting rid of? Consigned to Memory. Still have to get rid of cards. Maybe I'm not bringing in that many Dismembers. Like, what do I have to dismember? Barely anything. And maybe I also get rid of... I don't know, a Hexcatcher? Oh, wait a minute. I know a card. Wait a minute. Harbinger of the Seas is close to useless. I don't like that card at all in this matchup. Okay, we'll bring... What does Dismember hit? The Kappa Cannoneer, but then I have to pay the ward. I can hit a Construct. I have a feeling I shouldn't have these Dismembers in the deck. But I don't remember why not. So we're just going to submit it. We just might need the tempo. Otherwise, maybe Consigned to Memory is a fine replacement to Dismember. Plus, I don't like taking so much pain. Who likes so much pain versus affinity? His hand's garbage. Mulligan. Too many lands. You know what? I think I can live with this. I'm gonna keep it. We're gonna keep one dismember. I don't want too many dismembers. If I cast both dismembers this game, I'm dead anyway. So we're gonna play this land, and we're playing this land. If they go for the emissary card, I'm gonna kill it, and I'm gonna feel good about it too. We're just gonna kill it, and hopefully the opponent will not get so much value off of it. E on 0. Okay, so they're gonna go ramp out maybe a Kappa Cannoneer, which I also can't beat, by the way. Memnite. I might dismember that Memnite, depending on what the opponent does. All right, we have another Memnite. Island. Thought cast. Maybe I should have dismembered the Memnite in response to the other Memnite. Yes, you have a thought cast. You drew 2 cards. If I kill one of these, what are the odds that even has any influence on Kappa Cannoneer? It might. Okay, killing it. Look at this, aggressive. It's very aggressive, but you know what? The less things on the board versus the affinity deck, the better. Ah! Sat crack in the bobble! They're going to plan B. Plan A is no good anymore. Plan A doesn't work anymore. Okay, we're going to play our Glasspool Mimic and pass. We're going to be hopeless. Hopeless, helpless. Where's my engineered explosives? Like, that would have been awesome to have in my hand at the start. And just go, like, Gloomlake Verge pass and let them play as many cards as they want. Look at that. Look at that. Now it's almost like their hand does nothing. Unless they're about to play Emissary and dump their hand. Which I'll be very sad about. Oh, they are. Oh, damn you. Why does it have to be blue and red? Very rude. Okay, so how much crap do I have to deal with? Urza Saga. Pithing Needle. Okay, that's fine. That can't name anything that I even care about. Why didn't you play? I mean, I guess they just didn't have it this turn, you know? We set up the trap with Dismember. They didn't fall for it. Or maybe they knew. I mean, yeah, I mean, from their perspective, they could sandbag the Pinnacle Emissary for 1 turn, like, big deal. If I have, like, this untapped Gloomlake Verge. I don't think that's Dismember that they were playing around, but they could have played around Mystical Dispute. That's totally reasonable. Ha, they named Aetherval again. I only have 3 in my deck. Fool. Complete fool. Okay, we need an answer to this Urza Saga. I sided in my EEs, right? We played against Affinity like a pretty good chunk of the time last league, and I did not draw my E. Like, EE is such a bomb. Like, it actually helped me win so many games. I could just go EE, pop it here, and then my opponent could be just toast. I don't see any... I probably shouldn't have even played this. I don't see any rush to play Floodpit Drowners or the Hex Catchers. Let's draw some cards. I'll show them Floodpit Drowner just because that's just going to be the thing I'm going to play first before I play Hex Catcher. So they might be able to play around that card better, but if I showed them Hex Catcher and then played Flood... I mean, I guess I could show them Hex Catcher, and if I'm holding up the mana, they just assume Hex Catcher. Then if I play Floodpit Drowner and they know I have Hex Catcher, big deal. Another Urza Saga. Okay, can we draw these engineered explosives, please? 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 I beg you. I beg. I beg. Please. Okay, so okay, so that Island Walklord is great. So maybe we can race this. This is not impossible. I would like to draw 1 more land, though. That I would appreciate that very much. So we just need to tempo them out a bit. Just a little bit. So we're going to pass. They're going to make a construct. We're going to tap that construct down. And we can keep playing some creatures every turn. And then at the right moment, bam! Mass of the Pearl Trident. Okay, you get a construct token. In fact, at your upkeep, I think I'm just going to Flood Pits because... Oh, actually, no. Okay, we're going to let our opponent do some stuff. Because there's some triggers here. Forgot, there's triggers. My opponent's getting triggered by their Urza Saga. Now, do you want to float mana? You do want to float mana. All right. Not unusual. So, do you know about Flood Pits Drown? You'd probably know about Flood Pits Drowner. Okay, I'm just going to let this resolve. You can do whatever. Go get your things. Your things and stuff. Shadow Spear. A little shadowy here, aren't we? But you can't equip Shadow Spear and make a token at the same time. Which is good for me. So what do you want to do? What's more important to you? Oh, Kappa. Kappa! Kappa's pretty important. Not to mention, can you afford it? You can afford it, can't you? Pretty sure you can afford it. You got tons of stuff for Kappa. So Kappa plus Shadow Spear. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be really ugly, actually. I just don't have the right cards here. If this was Mystical Dispute, I'd be like, great. But it's not Mystical Dispute, so I'm like, crap. Do I counter this? How many of these cards do I need? I sort of need all of them. No, I'm going to counter this. You may not make your Kappa Cannoneer that much smidge bigger. You may not. Not on my watch. Okay, here's the plan, chat. Here's the plan, and it's not a bad plan. We need to draw a land to play both these cards out to attack for 8. They're going to equip Shadow Spear to the Kappa, and then after that, we're going to get hit for damage, but then I draw another Island Walk Lord to attack for lethal. That's my plan. I think it's a great plan. We need the land first. We didn't draw the land. It's not useless, though. It's not useless because we get to play a creature out. That's the most important. We at least get to play 2 creatures. But I don't know if I can attack for lethal if I draw another Island Walk Lord. I don't think that's happening. Mind Spring and pass. So you're going to hit me for presumably at least 6, maybe more. So let's say you go to 21. Because you can put another artifact in play with this thing. Actually, you're going to put 2 artifacts in place. You're going to hit me for 7. 23, and then I can, if I draw a lore, this is 4, 8. It's not even close. It's okay. Concede here. I've seen enough. All right, good games. Good games, opponent. I'm not drawing my sideboard cards. Like, what did we side? I mean, okay, I drew this one. This is the weakest of all of them. It's like for a situational Whip Flare or an EE on 2. But I need, like, the best is Engineered Explosives. Engineered Explosives on 0 is awesome. It is such a blowout versus this deck, and that's why I'm playing with 4 of them in my sideboard. And when we draw them, I'd love to show you how it just crushes the Urza Sagas, this drone token, this Memnite, this EE, and then like this Kappa Cannoneer isn't even a thing because there aren't even any permanents on the battlefield to improvise. But that's how the cookie crumbles. Anyway, that's round 1. Let's move on to round 2. Round 2, we lost the die roll. Not particularly thrilled with this type of hand because it's really clunky, but yeah, it's like, it's the type of hand, if we're up against an aggro deck, I mean, we're just gonna get crushed. What can this hand beat? I don't even think it can even beat Amulet, even despite the fact that we have Harbinger this season in our hand. We do nothing on turn 1. It's like the hand is sort of okay, but it's not really even that good. So I go turn 1, do nothing with Glasspool Mimic. Turn 2, play like Silvergill Adapter. This hand can't come from behind against any reasonable aggro deck. I'm just going to mulligan. There we go. This hand's plenty good. We'll keep this, and we will dump a Vidalian Hexcatcher. Yeah, I guess we should keep the Master of the Pearl Trident because that's her synergy with the Harbinger of the Seas. This hand is plenty great. Yeah, I mean, you just look at the hand, you realize this hand can't beat anything. And as our opponent plays their turn, we gotta thank our sponsor, Mana Traders. If you want to rent any deck and in the metagame, maybe you want to rent Merfolk, maybe you want to try Merfolk for the first time, I highly suggest you rent all your decks with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 40% cash back after 3 months using coupon code Nikachu_EFC. And our opponent goes Forest Pass. Well, it turns out that slow hand might have been actually pretty good. Or good enough, I should say. Stern Scalding. The Cavern of Souls hand. Not looking very good. Not until we get Harbinger of the Seas out. Oh, ha, ha. Get that file to 3. Flash in Harbinger of the Seas to turn my Cavern of Souls into an island and then Stern Scalding. I don't know. What is this? The Flesh Raker? Oh, Malevolent Rumble. Okay. Our hand is okay, actually, I think, for this red-green Eldrazi deck. But despite the fact that it's okay, I think our opponent has a pretty good hand so far to beat our hand because they're getting colorless sources with the Eldrazi spawn tokens, and they already have a basic forest. I do get an island. That's convenient. Unfortunately, these things don't tap. You just sack it, so I'll just pass. I've tapped it just out of spite before, but it has no strategic benefit to tap it. Nothing at all. Another forest, this Harbinger. And now remember, Harbinger is not going to be useless. There's a lot of cards that require... Oh, it's Brood Scale. Get that thing the hell out of here. I don't even want to start bothering with that card. But I don't remember what to do versus Brood Scale. It's been like a long time. Now I don't even know if Harbinger of the Seas is good. I mean, it might be good for the fact of just trying to win as quickly as possible. But I don't know if it's actually good. I don't know if it's good, you know? Fish Fam? Miscaller, does this do anything in this matchup? My inclination is no. My inclination is hell no. Create a 0/1. It doesn't do anything about the tokens, unfortunately. That's the problem. Alright. Well, let's go. Attack for 2. They have plenty of mana. I believe they have Kozilek's Command in this deck. Oh yes, Harbinger of the Seas is just... I guess it's getting a little bit better, but not really. Look, double green, a colorless. This thing can... Oh, you know what? Oh, ooh. Maybe I should actually tap that thing down. Maybe there is some strategic benefit. Because then they can't tap it with Springleaf Drum. And that's what I'm going to do! If you have a move to make with the Springleaf Drum, you better do it now, or forever hold your peace. That's right, something's going to happen here. Oh, it's Kozilek's Command, that's all. That's the only thing that's going to happen. I hate Kozilek's Command. They're like, we need to make Cryptic Command, we need to bring Cryptic Command back. And then someone else said, that's impossible. Alright, we'll just make another command that's actually cheaper, but you have even more options. And it's even more devastating. Alright, print it. So what do they want? They wanted the spawn tokens, which is even worse for me now. Which is even worse. Okay, we're going to take this up to 3. Got myself a Hexcatcher. Okay, I guess we're going to attack. Everything blocking me will perish horribly. Okay, let's just get out as much mana as possible. Oh, sorry, deal as much damage as possible. And I might as well, if it can even remotely stifle my opponent's mana, I will play Harbinger of the Seas, although I don't think it's doing a good job right now. What are the modes like? Player... Yeah, they didn't scry. They did not scry. Scry and cry. Scry and make the opponents cry. What do you want to do? What do you want to do, opponent? You have all the mana. You have everything you could possibly want. Oh, the Flesh Raker. I hate this card. That's a good card. Card can win by itself. What the hell? Oh. At first I thought like something's getting convoked in play. Emrakul! You want to take my turn? It's incredibly rude. Is Emrakul in this deck? Oh, I learned about something new here. I need my Lord back. Alright, so how devastating can this be? It can be really devastating. So you just let everything attack into... So this attacks into this. Harbinger attacks into this. I have like almost nothing left. But I get another turn. Okay, let's see what happens. They'll probably tick my Vial up to 4. That's going to be a funny move. There's nothing in my deck at 4. Yeah, there we go. That's tech right there. Oh, one turn off. Damn. Because if the Lord was in play, they can't make me, like, Sudoku my creatures into their creatures. Well, I mean, the best they can do is throw my Lord away. What is this? You want to activate that? I'm fine with that. That helps me. I mean, if prior you could like make this thing attack Emrakul and then this thing attack into the Glaring Flesh Raker, but now Hexcatcher trades with the Flesh Raker. I was fine with all that. I'm gonna get another turn. Now I won't have Island Walk anymore, but it's not. My position's not terrible either. I mean, I'm still not happy about it, but it could be a lot worse. I mean, if I draw like another Flood Pit Stranded to deal with this Emrakul, arguably my opponent could be in a lot of trouble. All my opponents interacting with my Ether Vial so far this league. No, I don't want to go higher than where it is right now. You have an island in play? No. And that's unfortunate for me now, isn't it? I guess I'm just playing a Lord. I could attack with everything, though. Or almost everything. If I attack with everything, you block Hexcatcher, you block something else with Flesh Raker. I think I'm fine with that. I think I am fine with that. You can only kill off one thing. I mean, like, probably the best thing for our opponent is just to chump block everything. Even with the spawn tokens, you're in a massive position of strength. I don't understand our opponent's mentality here. Like, these blocks. This card's more important. This one deals more damage in the long run. Yes, yes. Turn the brain on. They're like, wait a minute. This thing isn't pumping up the other things. There we go. You know what? Opponent used critical thinking. Figured it out. Alright, now we'll pass. And then now, or maybe actually, maybe my attack is bad because like right now I'm on a two-turn clock. If I drew a what's it called? If I drew so much as a Harbinger of the Seas, could I win? I would have an extra creature in play with Island Walk. Everything would be, this would be a 5. This would be 4, 5. Sorry, no. This is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. Plus 3 is 12. Plus the Hexcatcher, yeah, that's lethal. So, okay, so if I didn't attack and we drew Harbinger of the Seas here, I could win. Sink into Stupor. That is a fancy card. Does it have protection from instants? Flying Trample protection from instants. Well, I'll be damned. Okay. We concede. I don't even think the Brood Scale is even in my sideboard guide. Or is it? Oh, it is actually. Bringing in Consign to Memory. Bringing in the Consigns. Bringing also Engineered Explosives. I have no idea if that's actually going to be good or not. We're talking about Mistcaller and Silvergill Adept. I have 26 creatures. That's not true. I have 20. You always have to. So when you're playing on Magic Online, it says you have 26 creatures in your deck. You do have to remind us that the Glasspool Mimic. So we have 23 creatures left in our deck in a combo deck. I'm good. I'll take that. That's fine with me. I bet Counterspell is good in this matchup too. Maybe I should have considered Counterspell, but I don't. What the hell do I remove? I think I have the Engineer Explosives. You can play it on 1. You can play it on anything if you want. 0, 1, 2. Play it at your discretion. Have a lovely time with Engineered Explosives. This is really one of my favorite sideboard cards in a long time. Mostly because I've never played with this card in the entire history of Magic the Gathering, and it's just randomly useful to me now. It's just very randomly useful. Maybe looking back even into the... Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think back at like the old days of Affinity. Probably Engineered Explosives wasn't that good versus them. Because they do have the enablers like Memnite, Ornithopter, which they sided out, by the way, going into Game 2. They had Mox Opal, but they didn't play Bauble. They didn't play... And then their deck was a little bit more chunky. They played things like Steel Overseer. That Urza Saga didn't exist, so playing it on 0 to kill off Urza Saga didn't exist. So yeah, Engineered Explosives 10 years ago probably wasn't the real deal versus Affinity. But, I mean, it's really strong now. Must be a very interesting card in the mirror match. One side cranks out a Kappa Cannoneer. Then players Engineered Explosives on 0 and blows all the 0 drops up on both sides. Must be very fun. The Affinity decks look fun because they look fun to me. Problem is playing against it sucks. Okay, would I like to play? I would love to go first. I'm going first a lot. I think this hand is okay. The hand is clunkier than I want it to be, but I think it's okay. So, okay, well the hand just got a lot worse instantaneously because now, because I was hoping that we can afford to lose turn 1 because we have Stern Scolding available for turn 2, but now we lost. We don't even have turn 1. Look, this is what I need to deal with this card. Glaring Fleshraker is a glaring problem for me. Ugh, I can't kill this thing. Cast a color spell, you get a Scion. What are my options here? I think there's a 0% chance I'm going to execute this card the end of my opponent's turn, so I'm just going to pass, and maybe I'm just going to try to Flood Pit's Drowner this Glaring Fleshraker away. Thought Not Seer. This is also a problem for me. What would you like? What would you like to take from me here? Now, this is definitely so remember, at the same time, just like from last season of playing Merfolk in Modern, I'm trying to figure out if Lord of Atlantis is worth it to squeeze in those Harbinger of the Seas. And at least in this case, it's going to be really bad. I would prefer to have the Mirror Regeries in my deck over the Lord of Atlantis. So, so I have Stern Scolding. That's annoying. We are in such bad shape here. Funny, I'm getting the Engineered Explosives now versus a deck that maybe I don't even need them against, or not nearly as badly. I mean, it's gonna have a purpose. My line is not good, but I think I have to get rid of this stupid Flesh Raker. But then they know about my Stern Scolding, and I don't know what I do with this Glasspool Mimic. Now, alternatively, I could play the Glasspool Mimic, put another stun counter on the Flesh Raker, even though it still triggers everything. I got rid of the Lord, which is weird. It's really, really weird. Because they don't care about my interaction. Okay, I guess we're just gonna... So if they don't care about my interaction, that means they have no... They're not comboing off. And if they're not comboing off, then I'll just get rid of their value engine with the Flesh Raker in play. So we can afford to take a few hooves from this stupid thing. We have an Otawara. Does that do anything for me? Not really. Pass. It's possible we are just going to die to a Thought-Knot Seer. But that's the road I decide to go down. So now, thinking about my opponent's hand, they probably have Kozilek's Command for sure. Haywire Might, we'll counter that, because I can't afford anything to live. We're just not in a position to let anything resolve. Okay, Singing a Stupor is very interesting, because we can take 4 from Thought-Knot Seer, bounce it at end of turn, draw a card, hopefully empty our hand. Boseju's played. Yeah, their hand was a bunch of air. Well, I don't know about air, but the hand was not a combo hand. It's just more value than anything. You're gonna play something, huh? Feeling a little adventurous for 5 mana. Oh, what is this? Devour of Destiny? You cast this spell, exile target permanent that's 1 or more colors. Ha! Joke's on you, I don't have one. Okay, so we'll let that resolve. And I'm doing that because I really need a few extra cards from this Thought-Knot Seer. So we'll bounce Thought-Knot Seer, we'll draw a card. Hopefully it's like Floodpit's Drowner. Oh! Oh! Okay then. Yeah, they just went on beatdown mode here. Nice sideboard plan. Yeah, well, my whole hand looked like garbage. I feel outplayed here. I feel like I got thoroughly outplayed. I don't know what happened to me. What happened? But to be honest, I haven't played against Broodschale in a very, like, almost like a year. It's been a deck that's always been in the metagame. I just don't get paired versus it. And I think it performed well in some event. Maybe it was the Pro Tour, but it performed well, and I suppose maybe it's a little bit more on the map now, and I just have to pay more attention to it. I actually cannot remember. Like, if we're against a combo deck, then the Engineered Explosives should work. And I mean, that works through the Veil of Summer. But if they conceivably sided the combo plan out, or are they even a Broodschale combo deck? Maybe they're just a red-green Eldrazi deck with that Broodschale in it. I'm not sure, because this is very chunky. I can't remember if Broodschale plays Thought-Knot Seer or not. Anyway, it's in the past. That was round 2. Let's move on to round 3. Round 3, we won the die roll. We got no lands. We're going to mulligan. We got lands and cards. I like this hand. We're going to keep it. I'll dump a Mist Caller. The odds of drawing non-lands are higher than drawing lands, and I would like to really get to my 3rd land drop to play the Tishana's Tidebinder. Also, I don't really see a whole lot of value in a 2nd Mist Caller anyway. Devour of Destiny, we're up against another Eldrazi deck. Alright. Play a Mist Caller pass. Now, against Eldrazi, we got the Harbinger of the Seas in the main deck, specifically for this matchup. Specifically, very specific. Because I was like, my matches were like close, but I was always losing. They would always go 2-1 in my opponent's favor. I don't like that. That's no good. Ugin's Labyrinth. All right, this is an Eldrazi deck. That Broodschale deck, They're just pretending. Oh, it's the red-green Eldrazi deck. Okay. Talisman of Impulse. Very impulsive. Okay, let's attack for 1. Fortunately, the Stern Scolding is... it's not useless. There are targets for it, like the Flesh Raker, but it's just not that... It's not useful either. It's just got few targets, that's all. There are targets, though. Flesh Raker, please. Please, pretty please. Can we see a Flesh Raker? Nope. No, I don't want to see Thought-Knot Seer. Thought-Knot Seer is bad. It would be bad. Don't do it. Don't. Okay. I can live with that. That's a bad Eldrazi player. Don't you dare. They got a... oh yeah, the Writhing Chrysalis. That's on its way. We could Stern Scolding that thing. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be super awkward. Because it's going to be against my curve. So we can counter that with Stern Scolding, but then I don't really get to do anything cool this turn. I wonder, maybe I should just let it resolve and I counter its trigger with Deshaun's Tiebinder, but it's still a 2/3 creature in play. You'll see. I can't show the card apparently. Oh, is it showing? Can you show this writhing thing? Oh, there's a Kozilek's return in the graveyard. That's terrible! So now if they play some gigantic card, I'm screwed. Because it will trigger the return. You want to know why it's called Kozilek's return? Because after it's played, it returns again. Sowing Miko Spawn. If you touch my land, I swear to God. Yeah, you're coming after my land. No, you're not. Not on my watch, buddy. Not your buddy, pal. Okay, I can't stop your ramp, but I can stop your Ponza ways. The ways of the Ponza. More red mana, huh? Well, we really need a Harbinger of the Seas just to stop this stupid card from coming back, which I can't even beat. I can beat nothing right now, unfortunately. I am, from a very weak position, going to play this. From a position of absolute weakness, play Glasspool Mimic. Copy to Sean's Tiebinder. Can I counter its own trigger? I'm gonna counter my... Did I counter my own trigger? I did. I think I did. Or maybe I didn't. Yeah, I'm gonna send this thing to its death. I need to clear the board. And even if I draw Lord, I can't protect it. I'm not 100% sure if that's what I should do, but that's just what I'm doing. Because I do have a Sink into Stupor, which could be used to bounce it. But I mean, the thing I really have to deal with is this card. You know, they say Modern is in such a good spot. It's so diverse. Yes, it's diverse with big mana, aggro decks, and blink decks. Take your pick your poison of which of these you love the most. Another Sowing Miko Spawn. Ugh, you're gonna go after this card too? You want all my lands. That could produce black mana, damn it. Okay, I regret attacking with my Deshaun's Tidebinder. Unfortunately, our opponent is just durdling around a lot. Oh my god! Look how they positioned that this entire game. Now I can't do anything about this card. Somehow they knew. They knew. They're watching the stream. And I draw... What is going on here? These are great cards in this matchup. They're coming up all backwards. Pass, I guess. What is this? Whenever you sacrifice another Eldrazi, put a +1/+1 counter on the creature. You're gonna play another one? I guess you can now activate Ugin's Labyrinth and cast this card? Because you have enough Eldrazi's in play. Would not be in the same... It would be a fine line. Oh, but would it wipe everything out? Whenever you cast an Eldrazi spell that's 7 mana or greater. This is 7. Deals 5 damage. If you do, deals 5 damage to each creature, so it wipes the board. Oh, but it's going to keep the writhing thing in play. Because it will survive the mass destruction. The Devourer of Dust. Oh, there's another one in hand? Okay, blow it all up. Oh, is it a May? If you do... Oh, you may exile this card. Oh, you may exile. You don't have to. Okay, I saw enough of this game. Wow, we are just getting wrecked today. There's like just no game at all. It's all wreckage and nothing else. Okay, we want our last Harbinger of the Seas. We want our Consigned to Memories. That should be very good. 2 Force of Negations. And honestly, to hit anything. And we'll get rid of... what are we going to get rid of? Mistcaller sucks. Silvergill Adept is not that great. Anything else I want to get rid of? Maybe 1 Dismember. Maybe just 1. I do like having some Dismembers, though, in the deck. Hold on, we're going to bring it back. How many creatures? 29. I have a lot of creatures. We'll shave another Silvergill, maybe? Oh, I can take out the Stern Scoldings because we're bringing in all the Consigned to Memories. So it's basically this. It's basically the same thing. So we can bring back a Silvergill Adept. Not there are targets for the Stern Scolding. Don't get me wrong. There's targets. It's just harder to hit anything with it. Submit. Oh no, I think didn't we evaluate like last time? I should just take out all the Dismembers for like anything else. I can't remember what we agreed on last time. No lands. I have to mulligan. Going down on cards is brutal. I can keep this. I'll keep this. I'll dump the Dismember. Show Devourer of Destiny again. Go for it. Misty Rainforest. Utopia Sprawl. Man, we just don't get those Tide Shaper games anymore. Those used to be awesome. They were so cool. Glasspool Mimic. I guess the best thing to do here is... I think we just play Cavern of Souls and pass. The option was to play Glasspool Mimic, but I can't play Consigned to Memory with Replicate. And if I play a land and they go pass, I can play Flood Pits. The Flood Pits Drowner and start attacking. I could do nothing too. But I don't think I'm going to do that. Okay, you have a Malevolent Rumble, sure. Very malevolent of you. Another Consigned to Memory. The fact that I have a second one makes me feel a little bit more patient with my hand. So I'm going to play Glasspool Mimic and pass, and then on the following turn, hopefully play Silvergill Adept and hold up Consign to Memory as well. Like, we need to be in a position they are not doing anything. Like, they're just not playing things. Nothing resolves. Nothing, like, cascades and gets worse. So we get to cast with Replicate. I'll choose this target first. We're going to go up to 1, pay a blue and a generic. Do I get to target this something? No. Okay, the Replicate resolves. So complicated. This stuff's so complicated online. Okay, you get nothing. Oh, it can't be countered. I'm stupid. Look, they got me, you know? So many people have done that to me over the years. It's only a matter of time before I did it to them. All right, we got the Harbinger of the Seas. Well, this Consign to Memory is useless until we get this Harbinger of the Seas in play. So let's get this Harbinger of the Seas in play. There's only one Eldrazi spawn token, so that might be to our benefit. But they have red mana, so Kozilek's Return is on the menu. We're just in a tight spot all around. What the hell? Do they play Unholy Heat in this deck now? I mean, it's possible because there's so much aggro. Oh, there's 2 Unholy Heats on the sideboard just automatically in this. Thanks to Toothy MTG. Thank you, Toothy. Yeah, this might be an environment. I might have to. How do we beat this environment? Because usually it really sucks when there's a lot of aggro at the top of the metagame. Because when there's a lot of aggro at the top, there's just everyone starts bringing out an unlimited amount of removal to deal with it. And so if there's affinity, if there is energy, if there is it prowess, and they're all very successful, then all the other decks, like, what are they going to do? Just roll over? Are they just going to roll over to them? No, they're gonna pack the heat. Literally the Unholy Heat. Ugh, but how the hell? So, I mean, the problem is from our perspective, it's hard to defend against both speed. Like, if you want to be resilient, we can. Like Silvergill Adepts, Pheloons, stuff like that. More protection. But then none of that stuff deals with speed. Like, it just makes your deck, like, more clunky. What the hell is going on here? Sowing Miko Spawn with Kicker. So a bunch of cards got played. A bunch of stuff happened. In the end, nothing's happening for me. I can't complain about drawing my sideboard cards. I drew my sideboard cards, and they had the counter to it. They had the counter to my counter. Okay, some good news is that they're running out of cards and we're not dead yet. Those are all good things, in my opinion. I'll show Hexcatcher if I draw a land. Ugh, it's Glasspool Mimics. Well, I drew a land. It's a bit late, but I did draw a land. Okay, so my hope is they're flooding out. It's not something useful to hope for, but that's my hope right now. That is the hope. That's the dream. And they attack us, and we're going to attack back for way more. And we race and we win. But it's not over for them, apparently. They have more things to do. Sire, and this thing also can't be countered. That's just awful. Now it's got a ward of pay 7 life. We can pay. I mean, that we're gonna that we can consign. Ooh, boy, can we ever consign that thing? Ugh, but I'm just so far from winning. So I play Flood Pit Strander, tap this, pay consign to memory, counter it, attack for 4. They go to 14. Is there a reasonable chance I can win next turn? playing 2 lords. They go to 14. I have 12 power in play. It's not enough. No, sorry, they're down to 13. I have 12. I could, by dumping both lords, I can put 12 power in play. So, what is this? Still for 6 damage? I take 6. I can flood pits this. Then we can do some chump blocking. Alright, so there's a plan. I have a plan. It's not a good plan. And it still requires my opponent to stop playing things. But there's an idea. So on their turn, I can go flood pits, tap this thing down. The ward triggers. I consign to memory the ward trigger. This thing's tapped for 2 turns. We take 6. We go to 5. Then we play like Lord, attack, smack for 1,000,000. After we smack for 1,000,000, we can use the flood pits drowners to block do some chump blocking with sowing Mycospawn and the writhing what is this, Chrysalis? Chrysalis? It could be Trichalis. I don't know. Chrysalis. It feels wrong, but you know what? I don't use this word. Surprise. Probably not surprised. Ward pay 7 life. I don't think so. I was thinking, does it matter if I paid 2 or not? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Oh! So, you know what? Maybe we got to be a little defensive here. Maybe I'm the one who could lose this game. You're right. You could. Anything can happen. This is a game of Magic the Gathering. Ugh, another one? Oh, my opponent said oops. They probably meant to attack with their creatures here. Well, the plan of my opponent not having anything is just failing miserably. Like, this is not working out at all. The plan was they don't draw anything. I'm drawing really good cards here, but I'm getting just beaten by their interaction. I said it once and I'll say it again. Why did they print this card? Why? We don't have... I mean, I understand and it almost forced them to play Harbinger of the Seas, which was like backbreaking to a million other decks. And now Harbinger of the Seas doesn't even work versus Urza Saga anymore. What can I do here? I guess play this card and then pass. But it looks like we are pretty dead. We're pretty dead. Because they can do an all-out attack, and I don't have a chump block. Because the things I'm blocking with are 4/3s versus 3-power creatures. What is this? Yeah, okay. Our opponent had really good hands versus us. Good games. Good games. Well done. Well done. Well, I'm done, and you know who else is done? I'm done. We had a perfect score of losing. And yeah, I'm not going to do that again. We're not going to I don't need to investigate any further. Do I like Lord of Atlantis? You know what? I miss the Mara Regery, although I don't know how much Mara Regery would help me in all these matchups. Although I do trust Mara Regery more. Oops, I keep forgetting, like, this is squeezed. No one made mention of that in the last deck tech. Yeah, I missed out. Okay, so this is the way it's supposed to look like. Things to change. I mean, probably a lot, to be honest. The format being super hyper fast requires maybe even more 1-mana interaction. I think my game versus Affinity could have gone like way better. Again, like 1 EE can change that game around a lot, and we just never drew EE. Yeah, in like any of the games. And I drew EE versus Basking Brutescale when it didn't even matter. At least it didn't matter versus that matchup, who transformed into a mid-range deck. Yeah, like basically nothing broke our way this league. But I do think like probably this deck needs some sort of transformation if the metagame is just going to be super aggro and every other deck is going to be aggro. But I'll have to think about it. I'm gonna have to think about it. Where's the Blink decks? Come on, Blink decks. Show yourselves. Show yourselves to what's it called? beat my enemies because I want to play against Blink decks all day. So what happened today? We went undefeated in losing, but it happens. All right, everyone, enjoy. I'll see you guys next time.